Welcome back to Truth Report, the show that peels back the layers of corporate spin to reveal the uncomfortable truths shaping our world. I'm Alex Truth.
And I'm Maya Clarity. Tonight, we're digging deep into two seemingly disparate stories from the automotive industry that, when connected, paint a stark picture of how corporate power navigates, and often exploits, the global shift towards green technology, all while maintaining a tight grip on profits and labor.
From the aggressive global expansion of Chinese electric vehicle giants to the heated battle between legacy automakers and their unionized workforce right here at home, we're witnessing a seismic reordering of the industrial landscape. But who truly benefits, and at whose expense?
We'll expose how the promise of a sustainable future is being leveraged, sometimes cynically, to justify corporate strategies that prioritize market dominance and shareholder returns over genuine environmental impact or worker equity. It's a story of rebranding, recalibration, and relentless pursuit of the bottom line.
Prepare yourselves. The truth, as always, is far more complex and often more unsettling than the headlines suggest. Let's dive in. Our first story takes us halfway around the world, to a bustling emerging market where a new player is making its grand entrance. According to reporting from CleanTechnica, Denza, the premium new energy vehicle brand, officially launched operations in the Philippines this past February, introducing its D9 DMI Executive MPV.
This isn't just another car launch, Alex. Denza, a high-end division of China's BYD, is positioning itself strategically. BYD, already a global powerhouse, is aggressively expanding its footprint, and Denza is its spearhead into more affluent, discerning markets with a blend of luxury and what they term new energy technology.
What's critical here, Maya, is the specific vehicle chosen for this debut, the D9 DMI. It's not a pure electric vehicle, but a plug-in hybrid electric vehicle, or PHEV. While certainly more efficient than a traditional internal combustion engine, calling it a new energy vehicle might subtly dilute the pure EV message, especially for a premium brand making a first impression.
Exactly. This choice speaks volumes about market pragmatism over pure ideological commitment to electrification. In a market like the Philippines, where charging infrastructure might still be nascent and consumer range anxiety persists, a PHEV offers a convenient bridge. It allows Denza to market itself as forward-thinking without demanding a full shift to EV infrastructure from its premium customer base.
But let's not overlook the premium aspect. Denza is BYD's answer to luxury brands like Mercedes-Benz, with whom BYD originally co-founded the brand before taking majority control. This launch isn't about mass adoption of affordable green tech, it's about capturing the high-net-worth segment with sophisticated, albeit hybridized, mobility solutions. It's a calculated move to establish a luxury presence before the market fully matures for pure EVs.
And the beneficiaries are clear, BYD and Denza, who gain a foothold in a growing market, expanding their global sales and influence. Affluent Filipino consumers get access to a new luxury option. But the environmental benefit is incremental, not revolutionary. While PHEVs reduce emissions compared to traditional ICEs, they still rely on fossil fuels, especially if owners don't consistently plug them in.
So, while branded as new energy, the D9 DMI launch in the Philippines is less about a radical environmental shift and more about strategic corporate expansion and market segmentation. It's about BYD leveraging its technological prowess, even in hybrid form, to penetrate luxury segments internationally and challenge established players. This is market dominance through branding and carefully chosen technology.
It's a textbook example of how the green label can be applied to diverse solutions, some more genuinely sustainable than others, all to achieve corporate growth objectives. The term new energy vehicle becomes a broad umbrella, allowing companies to be perceived as environmentally conscious while still catering to existing infrastructure limitations and consumer preferences. It's a nuanced form of greenwashing, or at least green stretching, in the pursuit of market share.
This aggressive global play by BYD, through brands like Denza, underscores a broader shift in the global automotive power structure. China's EV industry, often bolstered by significant state support and a robust domestic supply chain, is now exporting its vision, and its vehicles, worldwide. This challenges the historical dominance of Western and Japanese automakers, forcing them to adapt or risk being left behind.
The implication is clear: the future of mobility is increasingly being shaped by companies like BYD, who are not just building cars but building an entire ecosystem of battery technology and manufacturing capability. Their strategic rollout of a premium PHEV brand in an emerging market is a masterclass in market entry, demonstrating how corporate ambition can skillfully package technological evolution for maximum profit and minimal immediate disruption to their growth plans.
Now, let's pivot from global expansion to domestic struggle, where the rhetoric around the EV transition is being weaponized against workers. Our second story, also reported by CleanTechnica, details the ongoing friction between the United Auto Workers Union and Stellantis. The UAW is vehemently pushing back against Stellantis' attempts to blame workers or the costs of EV production for disappointing profit-sharing checks this year.
This is a familiar playbook, Alex. Every year, around late February, Big Three auto workers anticipate their profit-sharing checks, a direct share of the company's North American profits. For years, these checks have been substantial. But this year, the mood for Stellantis workers is reportedly grim, with payouts expected to be significantly lower.
And the company's immediate reaction, according to the UAW, is to deflect. Stellantis is trying to paint a picture where the high cost of the EV transition, or the gains made by workers in recent contract negotiations, are the culprits for reduced payouts. It's a convenient narrative designed to temper expectations and shift accountability away from corporate strategy.
But the UAW isn't buying it. Their message is unequivocal. Stellantis cannot blame its workforce or the necessary transition to EVs for any perceived losses or lower profits. The union argues that the company's financial performance is strong, and that any dip in profit sharing is a result of corporate decisions, not worker demands or the inevitable shift to electric vehicles.
This pushback is crucial because it highlights a deep distrust. The UAW, fresh off a historic strike that secured significant gains for its members, understands that corporations often cry poverty to justify suppressing wages or benefits, even while executives receive hefty bonuses and shareholders see strong returns. This isn't just about profit sharing, it's about the integrity of labor negotiations and the equitable distribution of wealth.
Indeed. When Stellantis claims the EV transition is too costly, it's a narrative that serves to justify austerity measures for workers. It implies that the burden of industrial transformation should fall disproportionately on the labor force, rather than being managed through strategic investment, innovation, or a fairer distribution of record-breaking profits that the company has largely enjoyed.
Let's be clear about who benefits and who loses here. If Stellantis successfully limits profit sharing, it directly benefits the company's bottom line, potentially boosting stock prices and executive compensation at the direct expense of its unionized workforce. These profit-sharing checks are vital income for many families, and their reduction impacts entire communities.
It's a clear case of corporate power attempting to maintain profitability by squeezing its labor force, using the convenient, albeit complex, backdrop of the EV transition as a shield. The workers, who build these vehicles and drive the company's success, are being asked to sacrifice for a future that promises them little in return if corporate policies prevail.
This battle isn't just about one company or one union, it's a microcosm of the broader power structures at play in global capitalism. The green transition, which should ideally be a shared endeavor for a sustainable future, is being framed by some corporations as an unavoidable cost to be borne by workers, rather than an opportunity for reinvestment and shared prosperity.
It exposes the raw class struggle within the narrative of environmental responsibility. Corporations want to appear green, but when the rubber meets the road, the transition's financial implications are often downloaded onto the labor force. The UAW's defiance is a critical reminder that labor will not passively accept being the sacrificial lamb on the altar of corporate profits, even under the guise of ecological necessity.
So, Maya, when we pull back and look at these two stories side by side, a powerful and concerning pattern emerges. On one hand, we have BYD's Denza, aggressively expanding into new markets with a premium new energy vehicle, that is, in fact, a plug-in hybrid. On the other, we have Stellantis, a legacy automaker, using the costs of the EV transition to justify reducing worker profit sharing.
The common thread, Alex, is how the green transition is being strategically navigated and, dare I say, exploited by major corporations. For BYD, new energy is a branding opportunity, a pathway to global market dominance, even if it means launching with a hybrid rather than a pure EV to ease market entry and appeal to a luxury segment. It's about maximizing market capture under an environmentally friendly banner.
And for Stellantis, the EV transition becomes a convenient excuse to tighten the screws on labor, to cut worker benefits, and potentially protect executive bonuses and shareholder dividends. It's a narrative that casts the shift to electric as a burden, rather than an imperative for survival and innovation, thereby justifying austerity for those on the factory floor.
Both strategies, though vastly different in their execution, converge on the same corporate objective: profit maximization and market control. BYD expands its empire, carefully branding its products to appeal to specific demographics and infrastructure realities, while Stellantis attempts to protect its existing profit margins by pushing back against worker demands and leveraging the narrative of costly future investments.
What we're witnessing is the commodification of environmentalism and the weaponization of industrial change. The promise of a greener future is being twisted to serve corporate self-interest, whether through strategic product launches that aren't fully green, or through corporate excuses designed to suppress worker wages and benefits. The new energy revolution becomes a battleground for wealth redistribution, but rarely in favor of the workers or the environment itself.
It's a stark reminder that while the world clamors for sustainability, the primary drivers of this change, major corporations, often interpret it through the lens of capital accumulation. The crucial questions for us remain: who truly benefits from these corporate maneuvering, and who is ultimately left to pay the price for a transition that should, in theory, benefit us all?
The truth, as always, is that corporate power will adapt, rebrand, and strategize to ensure its own prosperity, often at the expense of equitable wealth distribution and sometimes even at the expense of genuine environmental progress. It's a constant vigilance required to see through the spin. These stories are more than just reports from the auto industry, they are crucial insights into the mechanisms of corporate power in the 21st century. The narrative of green transition is being crafted, manipulated, and deployed to serve capital, not necessarily the common good.
It's a call to action for all of us to look beyond the slick marketing and the corporate press releases. Demand transparency. Question the motives behind every new energy launch and every plea of financial hardship. Because the future of our planet and the fairness of our economy depends on holding power accountable.
The battle for truth is ongoing. We'll be here, continuing to investigate, to connect the dots, and to bring you the full, unvarnished picture of who truly benefits and who truly loses in the corporate landscape.
For Truth Report, I'm Maya Clarity.
And I'm Alex Truth. Good night and stay vigilant.